Hello everybody, Ruben Miller here, coach of the Cleveland Bros, bringing you today's PAL Week 2 battle against Colton and the Osaka Eevees. This is the second time I've had the pleasure to battle Colton. The first was in the PPL D2 Season 2, where we pulled out the victory. But that doesn't make me any more confident about this battle. He brought the Mega Altaria, the Darmanitan, Uxie, Porygon 2, Regice, and the Kecleon. I brought a offensive Sylveon, a Lopunny with Fake Out, Quick Attack, High Jump Kick, and Return, a Life Orb, Tornadus Therian, a defensive Rocky Helmet, Goodra with Gooey, a Akaberry, Scizor, and a substitute Leftovers, Victini. Now, I saw the opportunity for him to lead with the Darmanitan, and I knew I could live an Earthquake, so I decided to lead with my Victini as he leads with his Kecleon. Now here I expected the Fake Out, and as you can see that does 12 damage, not too bad. And after the Fake Out and my leftover damage, I expected a Sucker Punch here. So I decided to go for my substitute, but instead he decides to get up his Stealth Rocks. This was alright because I thought that a Blue Flare snag the burn and I'll be in good shape. Blue Flare goes off. I get the crit, 40%, not great. He goes for the knockoff, and I'm in a situation where if I don't get a burn here, I lose my Victini. So I thought that it was worth it to go for the Blue Flare again to get the burn. I thought maybe it would kill. It does not. I don't get the burn. And he gets a crit knockoff. Didn't really matter. Victini was dying anyway. So already turn 4 and I lose Victini. Victini wasn't the biggest threat to his team, but he had a Regice there. It was enough to where I needed Victini around. So I go into my Lopunny, and I know he's not going to want to stay and just sack that off. So I go for the return on his incoming Uxie, and as I can see, this Uxie has a Rocky Helmet, and this is his kind of stop to my Lopunny. So I decided to switch out and go into my Sylveon because I know I can take anything this wants to go for. I was expecting a Thunder Wave maybe, but he just goes for the Reflect as I go for the Hyper Voice. As he switches in his Porygon 2, and I get another crit, a huge crit. As you can see, this crit is huge later on. I go for another Hyper Voice, expecting him to recover, kind of to see if he wants to save it. As he goes for a Toxic, as I go for another Hyper Voice, and he just sacks off his Porygon 2. So turn 9, and it's 5v5. I have a Poison Sylveon, and I know that Sylveon is important for the Mega Altaria because I am Choice Scarfed. He brings in his Kecleon. I'm expecting a Fake Out, and I switch out into my Goodra. Like I said, I have the Rocky Helmet there for the Darmanitan, and the Rocky Helmet kills the Kecleon. So this gives him an opportunity to go into his Mega Altaria as his Reflect wears off. I switch here into my Scizor because I have the Akaberry. I know I can live anything. I expected a Return or a Hyper Voice, but he decides to go for the substitute, which was a little scary, but like I said, I have the Akaberry, so I can take a Flamethrower from this thing. I go for the Bullet Punch, break the sub. He goes for the Flamethrower, and luckily he only had Flamethrower, not Fire Blast, because I don't think I could have lived it. I scare him out. I debated going between Knockoff and Bullet Punch, but I decided to play it safe and just go for the Bullet Punch. As he switches in his Uxie, I get yet another crit, and here I expected him to maybe set up the Reflect again, so I went for the Knockoff, but he went for Fire Punch. And that gives me a switch into my Tornadus. I decided to just straight up go for the Hurricane because nothing really wanted to switch into the Hurricane other than the Regice, but he lets his Uxie go down, and I'm looking decent. Now, my big plan with the Rocky Helmet was in the event he has Darmanitan, I need Rocky Helmet damage in order to pick up the kill with a fake out and a quick attack with my Lope Bunny. As you can see, the Rocky Helmet damage is there, and I decide to stay in on his switch. I had the Sludge Wave. I didn't want him to get up another substitute, so I let the Goodra go down, and now that gives me an opportunity to go into my Tornadus and go for the Sludge Wave. It was a roll to kill in my favor, and I pick up the kill, no problem. As now he's just down to his Darmanitan and his Regice, both of which I'm not too worried about because of my Lope Bunny. So I decided to let my Tornadus go down. I didn't really have anything to switch into that, so I had no choice. As here, after the Flare Blitz recoil, plus the Rocky Helmet, that was more than enough to kill with the Fake Out and the Quick Attack. So here, he stays in. Had he switched out, I might have been in a little trouble, because without the Darmanitan, he goes in to his Regice. I'm thinking game over, high jump kick, but he reveals the Chople Berry and the counter. So just like that, I lose Lope Bunny, and now had he kept his Darmanitan around, I would have lost. But luckily, I still had Sylveon around. I go for the Hyper Voice. I could have gone for the Hyper Beam, but I didn't want to risk the miss. And I knew I could live a Flash Cannon as long as this thing wasn't max special attack. So, after the Flash Cannon, after the Toxic, I go for the Hyper Voice, and I pick up the win. Like I said, had I not gotten the crit, and P2 was around, and Sylveon would have taken more damage, I would have been in real trouble, and probably would have lost that. But we fortunately pick up the 1-0 win over Colton. Like I said, I knew this match was going to be close, and the counter Regice was huge. Luckily, we had just enough to scrape out the win. So we go to 2-0 in the Pokemon Auction League. We had high expectations going in, and so far so good, staying on course. In week 3, we go up against Alex, Onesie Bayonet, and the Aeosmon Inferno. So hopefully we can continue this roll and pick up another win. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.